Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Django, and I'm here to set it all. Let me take just one more second to set things up, and we are good to go. There we go. This is, again, our walkthrough through the game Pillars of Eternity, and to be more precise, this is Chapter 5, or Part 5 if you like. So, let's just dive back into the action, to be more precise, to the role playing, and see where the game leads us this time. Let's enjoy. So, for those of you who weren't with me last time, we just entered this very nice little town. Well, yes, you can probably see that it's not nice at all. We discovered that this village, there is something they call the Hollowborn. It's people who are born who are supposed to be soulless. Yes, it indeed sounds very troubling, and even more troubling that they seem to hang anyone who sires such a child. And where we left off in the previous episode was that actually the king or the lord of this little town, his king was a Hollowborn too. So someone told us that things are going to get worse. So let's explore this place. Again, we were speaking to Urgot. He still can't help us, so but we can ask him more about perhaps Lord Raedric or about the Gilded Vale. Let's ask him about Lord Raedric. He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since Aedir times. Raedric the Second, was an early supporter of Dyrwood and independence during the Revolution, and the current Lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hollowborn began appearing in the Dyrwood shortly after the war's end. The Saints' War, that sounds like a interesting war, perhaps. Lord Raedric has taken it upon himself to purge the curse from Gilded Vale. His measures have been severe but necessary. Unfortunately, it may not have been enough, if the bears were any indication. The Saints' War? Our age's most egregious example of man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Raethuris decided that Waidwen, their living saint, was the literal incarnation of the god Eothas. Erden wrinkles his pinched nose. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the Dyrwood, supposedly from allegiances to less worthy gods, but I've never known an army to conquer a land for its people's own good. True that, actually. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what the year did to the worship of Eothas and Dyrwood. Lord Raedric's forebears had all been Eothasians, but after his father fell defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the temple of Eothas here in town was shut down. He points at a few ruined walls near the tree. And it's actually around the tree, if I'm correct. There must be some connection there, I think. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understands our rules. How very, very great of you. We have one last thing to talk about. I'd like to know more about Gilded Vale. We are a frontier village, as are most settlements in the Dyrwood. Gilded Vale hasn't grown much since its establishment in the colonial days. The last 15 years have seen our population shrink further. Heat takes in the ramshackle houses and half-formed fences. He takes in, I'm sorry. Hence our recruitment of fresh settlers. Why has Gilded Vale's population been shrinking? Raedwyn's legacy, of course. Many women have had difficulty bearing healthy children of late. A few years ago, Lord Raedric decreed that no mothers of Hollowborn are to be allowed in Gilded Vale. His mouth tightens into a firm line. His lordship dealt swiftly with the objectors. It may be harsh, but if it purges us of this curse, is it not worth it? I don't think that any curse is so simple as that. I think that, you know, that is a very simplistic way of thinking. Tell me about those ruins behind the tree. That's what's left of the Temple of Eothas. Well, I was right. His lips pucker. Lord Raedric forbade worship of the dead god after the Saints' War. It's been abandoned for almost 15 years, but there are plans to re-educate it to Bereth, the god of life and death. The god of life and death. Alright, enough about Gilded Vale. Goodbye. Okay, let me please just make a note here. Places to return to, actually. This is one thing, and that even rhymes. I'm a genius. Alright. These are just, sellswords.
Sure.
We could go this way as well. There are a few houses here. Okay, this is the whole city, I think, or town, excuse me. Let's talk to Adir.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Let's see. Strange way to talk about your dad. He looks up at the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there now, seems like. No right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. It wasn't much help now, was it? Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers and nose half erased by the rains. So I cannot actually look through that stuff right now. Let's take that fungus. Thank you. Let's just go back here, I'd say. We cannot go this way. No, I don't think we can. Villages. Oh, that's the way, okay. And a villager. Then I told her that's not the pistol. Ha! That was it. Ah. So this is an inn, isn't it? Again, just normal NPCs, nothing ordinary, out of the ordinary. But let's talk to one of them. Let's see what they can say. been thinking about joining the family of, and I thought they have it far better than us. Oh, this is actually... okay. Let's go this way. Okay, let's enter that house. Wow. Cat. That's better than my piglet. How dare you? A dye-wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Good day to you.
Well, finally, I was starting to think. The woman makes a startled noise once she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? Nice cat. Let's say that. Ulfra smiles brightly. Oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. Keeps the house clear of mice, too. I just arrived in Gilded Vale. Thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with the one of the Carolans? I'm sorry for the Skype sounds, by the way. She looks at you hopefully. Master Adema, by chance? I was, yes. I'm afraid the rest of the Carolan was killed. Let's ask first about some stuff. I do not really want to startle her if it's not necessary. You knew Adema? Well, no more than most here, I'd say. He doesn't usually come this way, but they say he's a reliable old fellow. She pauses, brows furrowing. Wait, why do you say new? I'm sorry, but the caravan was attacked. I was the only one to survive. Ulfra covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. This suggests to me that she knew Adema more than she lets on. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Kaliska was always so certain she could take on any danger. Ulfra sniffs. Oh, my poor sister, I'm sorry, stranger, I can't believe she's gone. Oh, she's actually the sister of Kaliska. Wow, then truly my condolences. If I only hadn't caught her here, if I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Ulfra's face crumples and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Quit your snivelling. Kalisa mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide some assistance. Ulfra looks at you with some surprise before dabbing at her nose with a sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favor. She wipes at her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Kalisa as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Raedric, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor, she sniffs. With my Heatherd gone, I don't know how I'd managed if I lost my home too. I hoped Kaliska could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being hollowborn, but she moved south of Ansler Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else now with Kaliska gone. More tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? I'll find Ranger for you. You have earned a reputation. I think we know what reputations are. She blinks, eyes wide. You will? Oh, God bless you. Here, I give you a coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of. Well, I'm not sure. But I shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Kidded Vale, slight positive. Ansler Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Okay, let's see. Okay, now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna look through your belongings. I'm sorry. But, you know, what if there is... Yes, it's stealing. It's stealing. It's actually stealing. Okay. Well, obviously I won't be stealing. Not if it's a mechanic in the game. This worn dog-eared book is titled Travels Upon the Colga Sea. There is an etched illustration of a vast finned leviathan. Cat. Fortunately, I cannot talk to the cat. Let's see what we have here. Slox the Usurper and Clink. Alright. Oh, these are ghosts. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Okay, this isn't a ghost. We can see into the person's soul. Reach out for the soul. You see a lone man standing in a field. He looks around, surveying the crops. Occasionally he bends to examine a leaf up close. He is intent on what he's holding, but he's completely absorbed in his work. This man approaches him from behind. He moves slowly. He does not think to mask his approach. In his hand he holds a large sword. There appears to be no malice or hatred in the man's demeanor. He almost seems pleased. The first man hears his approach and stands, turning away from the plant he was inspecting. His face breaks into a smile, and he opens his arm to welcome the approaching man. The smile freezes into a grimace as the second man thrusts the sword through his stomach, its blade now protruding from his back. His arms slowly fall to his side, and blood starts to dip from the sword onto the plants below the man. As the first man crumbles to his knees, the second pulls the sword out, a tear slowly falling down the cheek of his still smiling face. Step back.
Keeping quiet.
Reach out for the sword. You see a small group of people gathered around the ruins of a house. The destruction continues out from a single dwelling through the entire village. Not a single building still stands. Rubble is scattered everywhere. One of the men in the group leans over something in the debris. It is this man, younger, barely more than a boy. The man reaches out and shakes the boy by the shoulder. The boy makes no sound and doesn't respond to the man's disturbance. The man looks up at the other member of the group and shrugs, standing to rejoin his friends. The boy suddenly sits up, eyes wide. He scrabbles backward, away from the group, looking around in horror. The group moves towards him in unison, eliciting a yelp from the boy, who tries to move farther away. A woman in the group puts out her hands, stopping the rest. She turns to them reproachfully, motions for them to stay, then looks at the boy on the ground, who is trying to push himself through what remains of a wall. He seems unaware he has even stopped. The woman slowly moves toward the boy, hands out, speaking in a low, calming tone. For a time the boy doesn't even hear. He just closes his eyes and braces himself against the wall, expecting violence. Eventually the woman's words work through the fear, and he hears her. He opens his tear-filled eyes and stares at her. She holds out a hand to him. He looks at it, seeming confused by the offer, then hesitantly reaches out. She takes his hand in hers and leans down to help him stand. Alright, that is some nifty backstory right there. Let's speak to them. It cannot. What is the point of this then? What is the point of this? Okay. Guess we'll see. The Black Hound Inn. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. The raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggests an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Say nothing, stoic. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. You've got a lot of gal mocking us in our own village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Adrians.
Go on, say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Oh my god. He's looking for trouble, isn't he?
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
Okay. Let's be passionate, or should we be diplomatic? Let's try passionate. Back down, all of you. This is absurd. No one gives a soul as Adrian. Oh shit. This is a fight, isn't it? Alright. Alright. Will you help me, boy? Oh, that guy died. Oh my god. Oh, they are one-hit kill people, aren't they? Yes, they are. I guess they are, at least. As the last of the attackers fell, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
I'm glad I could help. He gives you a quick smile. Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, as is the company of a fellow countryman. He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Griffin Ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
I have this strange feeling that I can trust him, so let's go with number 2. Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. Aloth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Just how did you manage to cross those 3
I'm
dunks?
afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did make a rather lewd suggestion regarding one of the aggressors of his own sister. All that, he clears his throat and adjusts his sleeve. As I try to tell them they misheard me, happens all too easily after a few pins, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. For just a moment he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak he forces a tight smile, biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert in souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the gnarled old tree in the center of the town, of course. His darting glance takes in the tumble-down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expected such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. You don't exactly look like a settler, dear Sora.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet,
didn't say I was one.
circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
What a surprising thing to happen. He wants to join us. So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first follower. Let's loot this. Nope. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Great. Well, this is an elven wizard. With a lot of lore knowledge. And a lot of abilities.
Yes?
First level wizard spells. We will actually read through that when the time emerges, you know. I don't really think it would be a good thing. Edit Grimmer. Oh, I see. He has to remember spells, doesn't he? Right, let's... Wizards have the ability to learn a staggering number of spells, but they are always limited by the capacity of the grimoires. Any given time, a grimoire may only contain 4 spells of each level. Click on a spell in the right panel to remove it from the grimoire. Art spells, blah blah blah. Okay, pretty straightforward, I'd say.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And this is the inn. The windows are clouded with the haze of accumulated smoke and cooking grease. The Black Hound Inn. Quite a cool name for an inn, I think. No, thank you. Let's go into the inn. I'm hoping for some cool tavern music right here, game. Thank you. The floorboards are sticky and spills that no one has bothered to clean. Wow, this place is really upside down, isn't it? Some kind of brown slop is congealing in these dishes. It smells burnt.
Welcome.
Greetings and welcome to the Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper was ahead curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Really, well, let me see. The actual bidding has been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We get a lot of new faces in here too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. Used to work the tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what's happened to him. Even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see, the Black Hound. It's still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Poor dog. Doggy. You only serve porridge? Aloth looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meal in Direwood. We've had a damnable run of luck, that's all. It's been a bad season for the crops, and we're running low on supplies. Surprise. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see, an artist with a good roast, but it's been days since he was supposed to return. We haven't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken over from the last one myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I could try to find him for you. Really? Her face brightens. I'd be grateful to you if you did. He was traveling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing you praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Alright. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. We have one level 1 adventurer for 250 copper pieces. Well, no thank you. Could also rest in the low character dress without using camping supplies. Cheap rooms are usually available, but if you have a copper to spend, you may consider the more expensive options. The bonuses they provide last for a long time and affect the entire party. What is this? This is actually the trading part and party management. You can see what your allies are up to and when they aren't in the party. Okay, we can manage the party, nothing new here. Let's see. To be honest, I don't really need money just yet, so let's hold on to that stuff for now. New task, find Fenrith. Okay. This isn't actually stealing, is it? No, it is not. So I just curry the dishes. You'll want to talk to Pasca at the counter there. Okay. Drunkard. Let's see what a drunkard has to say. And who are you then, another fool, come to answer Edric's invitation? Great Lord, had my sister run out of town after the boy was born. She was the only family I had left, not sure where she is now. Blazes, I need another drink. Yeah, that seems to be a big chunk of unluckiness, doesn't it? Oh, again. Interesting, interesting. And this is not stealing, alright. Scroll of Fan of Flames, okay. Beskeet. Again, some
nice and quiet.
people with some soul stories, or what they are called. Let's check his grimoire. Fan of Flames. He actually does have that spell available. Quest to lore, then put it in here. This is about the Crucible Knights. Okay, I'm not going to read this now. And also, I think it is time. Let's just check everything. It is actually time, ladies and gentlemen, to end this episode right here. I hope this pace suits you, but I do think that a lot of time and patience is needed for this game, so I think we should give it to the game. But if you have, of course, any constructive feedback, as always, it's very much welcome. Also, consider hitting that like button if you did like what you saw, and you could, of course, also subscribe to the channel even more. So I would thank you for that, but thank you for watching me, watching the stream, watching the video, and I hope you'll stay with me for the next episode as well. And remember, we will set it to all.